Wildcats Revenge is an RMC hybrid located at Hersheypark in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The ride opened for the 2023 season, replacing the original Wildcat, a GCI wooden coaster that opened in 1996, and throughout the years, the ride was notoriously known for having a rough experience. As early as 2016, a lot of enthusiasts wanted to see this ride get the RMC treatment, and it wasn't until summer 2022 when the park announced that it would be permanently closing for good on social media. That's when RMC, or Rocky Mountain Construction, commented, "We have a couple of ideas," which created a really big hint that it would get RMC'd. And then in November 2022, the park announced Wildcats Revenge, an all-new RMC hybrid set to debut for the 2023 season. And this ride is way times better than the original Wildcat. The ride provides a smooth ride, a lot of great elements, and it's just a fun ride. So let's talk about the stats for Wildcats Revenge. It has a height of 140 feet, a drop of 135 feet at 82 degrees, max speed of 62 miles per hour, 4 inversions. Those inversions include a step-up underflip, or you twist into a 0G roll before descending down into a large bank. We also got a 0G stall and 2 0G rolls. And we got a length of 3,510 feet of track. Kind of hard to describe the theming for this ride, but it's pretty much themed to the original ride. They say that the Wildcat is back and is seeking vengeance. When you walk up to the area, you're greeted by its station right in front of you that is painted black and red, where it says Wildcats Revenge. Below that, you have 4 scrape marks on the station. When I was there, they did have their Golden Ticket Award for Best New Ride for 2023. Not sure if it's still going to be there in the future. At the entrance, you're greeted by Wildcats Revenge logo. The Revenge part of the logo is made out of wood, and behind the logo, you got a section of track from the original Wildcat ride. In the queue line, there's not much theming. The queue is pretty much in the ride structure, so it's a great way to take photos or videos of the ride. Towards the end of the ride, you're greeted with free double-sided lockers, which is really nice to put loose articles inside them. These are the same setup as Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. At Hersheypark, I believe it's optional to put smaller loose articles inside the lockers, such as your phone or your car keys. All bags do have to go inside the lockers, since you can't place them to the side on this ride since there's 2 loading stations. The ride doesn't have metal detectors, unlike Twisted Timbers. You also got a flight of steps that lead you into the station. The ride runs 3 trains with 6 cars per train with 2 across rows and seating. I really love the front of the train design for Wildcat. Kind of reminds me of Bobcat at The Great Escape with their train design, and I really like when parks get creative with their train designs. You also got the newer generation RMC restraints. In the station, once the ride attendants check your restraints, they play this epic hard rock music in the station, which really gets you built up on what you are about to anticipate. I really love that feature. Let's move on to the layout. So once you dispatch, you hear that Wildcat growl inside the station and you are off. Once out of the station, you go out pretty fast into a few smaller pops and banks. If you're sitting in the back, this section will definitely catch you by surprise. It definitely feels like they're launching you. After that section, you climb the 140-foot lift. At the bottom of the lift, you go up the lift pretty slow so that the other trains that's going through the layout can complete it. Once the train completes and you are halfway up the lift hill tends to speed up. Once you crest the top, you drop 135 feet at 82 degrees. And I'd say this is one of the better drops that I've ridden for RMCs. It's a really good and powerful drop. You then climb into your first inversion, the step-up underflip. You then bank to your right into a really powerful airtime hill. I'd say probably one of the best airtime moments on this ride. You then dive up, then hit a small bank to your left into the 0G stall. You then bank to the left into another small bank. And that's when you hit the second half of the ride, which in my opinion is a game changer. It's a lot better than the first half. There's definitely more intensity in the second half, as well, since every section is low and wraps around each other. First, you enter this small pop of airtime that actually came out of nowhere. And what I mean by that is that you come up, slightly turn, and then dive down. It was a weird feeling that was definitely airtime. There's also another moment like that on the ride that I'll get to in a bit. After that, you got a 0G roll, which is your third inversion, into a bank turn to the left, a small inner bank, that will lead you into your fourth and final inversion, another 0G roll. You got bank in what looks to be like a reverse bank before you climb up into another strange airtime hill into the final breaks. This is the other airtime hill that also shifts that I was just talking about. So overall thoughts, this is a great ride and a great addition to the park. Hersheypark definitely needed a ride like this with two other Woodies in the same park and one that was running pretty bad. Now, is this my favorite RMC? I would say no. I don't even think this is my favorite ride in the park. I think this is my second favorite ride in the park. I do like Candymonium better, and I think this ride is better than Sky Rush, which is my third favorite. When it comes to Hersheypark's lineup, people could argue whether Wildcats Revenge could be their favorite ride in the park or their fourth favorite ride in the park. Out of the RMCs, I rank this as my fourth favorite RMC. I think I like Steel Vengeance and Wicked Cyclone and Twisted Timbers better than Wildcats Revenge. Those rides just produce a little more stronger moments. So for a final score, I'm giving Wildcats Revenge a 9.5 out of 10. The reason it's not getting a full score is because that first half of the ride didn't really produce as much as it did in the second half. And I think the best part of that first half was that airtime hill, but the second half really kicked in. So that is it for my review on Wildcats Revenge at Hersheypark in Hershey, Pennsylvania. If you've ridden Wildcats Revenge or the original Wildcat, let me know what your thoughts were down in the comments, and if you agree with everything I said on Wildcats Revenge. Subscribe for more Coastamonium videos, and I'll catch you guys later.